So these are the times that try men's souls. He didn't just say these are the times that challenge men's souls. These are the times that try men's souls. And by try in this context, he means test, like a trial. And we have 2 more trial attorneys back there, so you have 4 trial attorneys in this small group. So you all know what I'm talking about. But this was the word in that sentence that really got me thinking. These aren't just times that challenge our souls. These are times that try our souls. And try in this context means to put through a test or a trial. Webster's dictionary says that to try in this context is to subject something such as undue strain or excessive hardship that tests the powers of endurance. So the first key of this kind of test or trial is that the outcome is uncertain. A test can be passed or failed. You get graded on a test from 0 to 100. A trial can be won or lost. When I go to trial with a client, we are going to achieve anywhere from 0 to 100% of our goal. When Paine says these are the times that try men's souls, he's saying our very essence as people, individually and collectively as a nation, is being tested at this time with an outcome as yet uncertain. It's December 1776. Will America achieve its aim of establishing itself as a uniquely independent country on a scale of 0 to 100 at that time? Incomplete. To be determined. The second key to this kind of try or trial or test is who decides the score? Someone else does. I can't grade my own test. I can't judge my own trial and my own case. A third party does that. A teacher grades your test. The teacher decides your outcome from 0 to 100. A judge or jury decides the verdict of your trial with an outcome from 0 to 100% of your goals. Right now, America is being judged by the rest of the world. More importantly, America is being judged by its own people. How do we tell how America is doing in this test, this trial, on a 0 to 100 basis? In order for a test or a trial to be fair, the participants need to know the rules. What will I be judged on? What am I being tested on? The rules for this test were set out by people like Thomas Paine and set out in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all the other amendments. So we can't agree on a grade for the United States without agreeing on what we are grading and what standards to use in that process. So how do we decide whether America is passing or failing this test? Paine said 1776 was a time that tried men's souls. Today's partisan environment, with all sides lodging claims that the other is ruining the soul of the country, is another time which tries men's souls. And one side's passing grade is the other side's failure. If we judge or grade a part of our nation today as a failure close to 0, then you know that others praise that part of the country as a success close to 100. That's the key to a time that tries our souls. The outcome is not yet determined. So we need to keep working to influence that teacher and judge and jury that will decide this trial. This jury is we the people. And the jury needs to know what standards to apply to the outcome of this trial. In the same way that a judge at trial tells the jury what law it must apply to the facts of the case. If you've ever sat on a jury, you know that at the end of the case, you listen to all the evidence, and at the end the judge says, okay, now that you've heard all the evidence, this is the law you have to apply to it. This is how you judge this case. This is how you solve this test, this trial. So the core principles that we need to apply in this case are the constitutional principles and core American values that must guide we the people in determining how we're doing as a nation on a 0 to 100 scale. For Justice Southbury, We need to continue to advocate for those American values which are consistent with the best human values. What's the verdict going to be? What will be our test score? In the summer of 2025, we can only say incomplete, to be determined. Michael quoted you a little bit at the beginning of Thomas Paine, and I want to give you the whole first three sentences because it really sets out how we're going to be tried now. As he said, Paine is criticizing those who say, I stand for something, but I stand back and I sit down and I raise my hand when I'm ready and at the right time. And he said, this fight is important enough that we all need to step in. So I apologize for repeating some of Michael's lines, but he says, these are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. So may we continue to help this trial. May we continue to try to pass this test, and may we continue, as Justice Southbury, to do everything we can to be very clear about how we think this test should be graded and the standards that should be applied to this trial. So thank you all for doing all that you're doing.